The topic of leadership versus management is a big one, especially for those of us in the middle market. It's oftentimes seen as the same thing, or, well, leadership is something that someone else needs to do. My job is to manage, or vice versa. Peter Drucker once said that only three things occur naturally in an organization: friction, confusion, and underperformance. Everything else requires leadership. The implication there is that management messes it up and leadership fixes it. And that's not necessarily the case at all. Both jobs are important, but they're different. And in the middle market, you're likely, if you're leading a team or leading a company or leading some effort, you're doing both. You should be doing both. You see, management is the natural thing we do. We're hardwired to manage. Our jobs are written about managing. Our job descriptions are written about management. You might see a word leadership in there, but it's not defined. It's not described. Managing is natural. Leadership is not natural. So as we get to talking about those differences, you are always hired to be a manager. That's what you were hired to do. You evolve into leadership. Now, managers are true. They're talking about numbers. They're talking about outcomes. They're talking about results. Leaders are always thinking and talking about people. Managers are holding people accountable. Leaders are inspiring people. Can you do both of those at the same time? Is it possible? Managers persuade people to do things that they might not want to do. They're responsible for hitting those deadlines and timelines and account responsibilities. Leaders, on the other hand, inspire people to do things and go places and see things that they probably wouldn't have seen without that leader present. So managers are about handling the pressures of the day. Sound familiar? Managers are about solving the problems of the day. Leaders are about creating vision and growing people. When I talk to managers, it's true, I get a sense that they are important. When I talk to leaders, I get the sense that I'm important. There's a big difference in those two, but they're both necessary and they can be embedded in the same person. So here is a word that I would give you that's really the key between managers and leaders. Leaders are relational. It's about the relationship. I've always said people don't necessarily mind how you manage them. There's a lot of different styles and you have your own. How I'm managed is not nearly important if I feel that I'm being led, if I trust my leader, if I believe he has a plan for me, I believe there's a future for me, if I believe he has a vision for me, if I trust that leader. That's relational, and that's the difference primarily between being a leader and being a manager. You can do them both.